Flippity bip bip, mothers. What's up, people? How y'all doing? Brother Brian here. Monday, tax day. Today, I worked. I had to go to work. Figured I'd get on here and make a video, man. I haven't made a video in a minute. I've been extremely busy doing things by choice. Well, work's not my choice. Work's just part of living the life. If you want to live a life in this world and have a decent life, enjoy the music and the things that you enjoy, then you have to work. It's just what you got to do. Or at least it's what I have to do. Record store day's coming up. I do plan on participating in record store day. I enjoy record store day. There's usually some nice albums that I enjoy. Don't mind the mess. Like I said, I've been busy. It's just been busy. Busy. I've been doing a lot of yard work, man. My yard is. I've worked a lot this year, and we've had a lot of rain. My yard looks really good this year. I'm really proud. It's just weird, man. It's like I go through these stages in my life, and it's like, why don't I do this every year? Why? Because my front yard and stuff. I just neglect these things, man. Just neglect them, and I should do it. I should take time for my yard. I enjoy my yard. I've got, to me, I should make my yard and my gardening and stuff like that. I should make that my number one priority. Well, as far as my hobbies go, in the summertime, like spring and the summer, I should make that my main hobbies just because I enjoy it. It's something different. Fishing. I went fishing yesterday. Sunday, and fishing was really tough. I ended up catching one fish. I missed another fish. It was just the weather's just been so weird. When the weather gets weird, it's hard to catch fish. The water temperature's cold. We don't have no constants. We need things in order in the fishing world. They need things to kind of start becoming constant. And it was weird. It's like I got out there and the wind was blowing early in the morning. Got there at 7 o'clock, and the wind was blowing like crazy. And it was cold. It was probably in the 50s when I got there. Then the sun came up and it was bluebird skies. Bluebird skies is hard to fish. No clouds, high barometer, barometric pressure's way up there. And then the temperature gets up about almost 70. And then it gets cloudy. Okay, it's like cloudy, and then the temperature drops. Gets back down into the low 60s. Then the sun comes back out and it gets up to about 80 degrees. Then the clouds come back and it drops back down to the 60s. You can't catch fish like that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with fishing, but when you have those type of rapid fluctuations in the temperature and the barometric pressure and the water temperature stuff, it's just I planned on fishing all day, but I didn't. I haven't bought any records. Record store day's coming up. I plan on participating. I know I started this already. But I haven't been buying any records here lately. I've been listening to music. I've got a surplus of records. in my house that I've been going through, and there's like records that I was going through, and I realized, I haven't played this one yet. I haven't played this one yet. So I was listening to some records, man. I played that George Jones, the Grand Tour, and the sound quality on that album is just really something to experience. It is really mastered well. And when I say mastered well, I'm not talking about these, everybody says, is it mastered by, such and such person, it's such and stuff, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that it's mastered, that it has a different type of beautiful sound to it. You know what I mean? It's like you guys know what I'm talking about. Some records, they just sound better than other records just because of the way they were made. Got this one sitting there, man. Burning Spear, Free Man. This is a record we've probably all seen, man. You know, this was sitting in my music room on the floor, man. I would love to get it set up to have my records just in like one place. I don't know how the hell I do that. It says Burning Spear Music Productions on black vinyl. It's got some hair on it. It looks like it's got a charge. That's why you need a multi-stack gun to get that charge off your records. Yeah, man. I've got beautiful music, man. I was talking to my one buddy this week. He's a fisherman, man. He was asking me how my fishing was going this year. I told him not too good. There's just more people in the world. More people in the world fishing, man. Everybody, it's just there's just more people in the world. It's different. It's a different world than when I was in high school. It wasn't like this, man. It's like people are driven differently nowadays, man. When you go fishing, nobody has any patience. They have zero patience, man. They get out there, and if they ain't catching nothing, man, they're gone. There's usually hundreds of people fishing, man. You go where I live, you go fishing, there's hundreds of people. I mean, if you wanted to, have a good business around Dayton, man, open a fishing place, man. You're gonna make all the money you want. I mean, because there's fishermen up the yin yang. I'm not a people person when it comes to things like that, man. I'm not. I don't enjoy being in the crowds. My idea of fishing is getting away from people, man. You know, and that's what I need to do. I need to find some spots where people don't like to fish. That's where I like to fish. Is where people don't like to fish. They had I went fishing Sunday. They had a catfish tournament out there where I go fishing, and they said 200 people was out there in that catfish tournament on this in this lake fishing. It's like a 10-acre lake, and they had 200 people fishing that lake. It's no wonder the fish weren't biting. It's just that ain't fishing. It's weird. It's like in this time of my life, I'm going through this change. I know I am. I'm going through a change in my life. And it's been really nice, man. I've had a lot of peace. I've had a lot of peace. My mind has been clear. I've been able to focus better. My focus has been better. I left my other job. I just just had enough of the job, and I just left. I was like, I'm out of here. I've had enough of this place. Then I took 4 months off of work. And then I went and talked to some different places about a job, right? In the place that I'm actually working now, I almost didn't go and work. I almost canceled the interview. I was like, yeah, man. I had some job offers, and I was like, I think I'm just going to take this one job offer. And I almost called and didn't go to the job interview. But I was like, I'm not doing nothing today. I'm not doing nothing. So I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the interview. Man, I went to the interview, and I was like, I think I'm going to work at this place. I think this is the place I want to be at. It's a small place. It's like 20 people work there. But this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, so I left my other job, and it was like that was not the place for me at the time. My time there was up. And these are the things that tell me that there's different powers and energies in the universe. That sometimes we just stay when the universe is saying to go, we don't listen. You know what I'm saying? We don't listen. And I just knew it's like this isn't the place for me. And I left. I had enough courage to leave. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's been a piece put on my life. Things have been really good. Ever since I left and I kind of got away, quit drinking, these things, that that you shouldn't do. You abandon these things that are not good for you. Take the courage and walk away. There's plenty of jobs in the world, plenty of places to work. But ever since then, man, I left, man, it's just been a blessing, man. I've really enjoyed my new job. I don't like being a slave, okay? Let's not get confused there. But I mean, my new job, it's been somewhat challenging, but I've met the challenge. Challenging with the aspect of the work that I'm doing, the responsibilities of it being in a smaller company that you have to take up more responsibilities. The challenge of new employees, these the smaller companies, you have these people that have been there for a long time, and they struggle with these mindsets that they're stuck. They're stuck in any type of change in their life, even though maybe it's a new person coming into their shop, their work environment. Makes it kind of tough for me where I have to, you know, deal with these people, which I've done a really good job. I've been very kind to these people. I've just been trying to be kind and respectful because I understand that I'm the new guy, I'm the outsider coming in, and that's tough. That's tough for an older employee that's been there for 20 or 30 years. That somebody comes in and you know gotta watch them, man. They'll set you up for failure if you don't. If you don't know what you're doing, and they have tried to set me up for failure, but I've persisted and done a good job. I've done a real good job. My new foreman really likes me. Me and him get along very well. So yeah, I mean, I've just been in a really peaceful place, man. And it's just working on my yard. May Mother's Day is May 12th, I believe. We have to in a Dayton, Ohio. We have to wait till around Mother's Day before we can start planting. I've already bought all my planting soil for the pots, my flowers. I've already bought. I've got raised garden beds. I've bought some extra soil gardening beds for that. I bought me some fertilizer, man. I've been mulching. I've been doing a lot of mulching here the past couple of days. A lot of weeding stuff. You know, we have, it's just the world's crazy, man. People in the world are crazy. People are just crazy. We people in the country, they're driven differently. They're driven differently than I'm driven, and it's kind of hard for me to get along with different people. You know, people are sheep. They're being controlled by their emotions, by money, greed, power. Um, you know, People just they can't they struggle to get away from the crowd, man. It's mind blowing to me. It's like when I'm doing my yard, man. I'm like painting. I got these things at Goodwill, and I'm painting these little stars. I'm gonna put these in my backyard. I'm gonna screw them on to this thing on my porch, just because that's I can. I'm gonna do it. But a lot of people they wouldn't do that. That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't do that because they want their happiness is predicated on whether or not their neighbors care what they're going. I'm doing this things for me. I don't do that for my neighbors. I do it for me. I grow vegetables for me because I enjoy eating vegetables. I grow herbs for me. I do these things because they bring me joy, not because I need to feed my ego. I showed a guy today a picture of my some of my mulch in my backyard. I've got this mulch, and I've got creeping flocks and stuff. I took these little frogs, these fake frogs, and I put them in my creeping flocks, right? And then I put a couple little birdhouses down there, and I told them that's Frog Town. I was telling them that, man. And it is silly. It's silly. But I think it looks good. I look over there and I see the creeping flocks with the mulch and the birdhouses and the little fake frogs and stuff, and it brings me joy. You know, he looked at me. He says, "You're like because you're one of them people." That's what he said. Immediately put me in a category. You're one of them crazy people that do things like that. I'm like, well, what should I do? Should I put put it out, do my yard so that you and my neighbors and everybody else will be happy about it and make me feel normal? Fuck being normal. I don't give a flying fuck about being normal. I'd rather be myself and enjoy the things that I enjoy than be what they think is normal. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I am crazy, man. Maybe we're all crazy. Maybe I don't hide it. Like some people, they hide it, disguise it, and man, I don't give a fuck. I'm 50 years old now, man. I see this thing the other day. It said, you'd be surprised how fast they'll forget you when you're dead, and I believe it, man. When you die, fucking, you ain't nothing. You're fucking gone. But, but, Oddbox Topper was an odd dude, man. But he had a good soul. And he had a good heart, man. And people still remember old Oddbox, man. Everybody still loves Topper because he wasn't like the world, man. He was Oddbox Topper. He was who he was, and that's what I want to be. I want to be who I want to be. I want to discover who I am, the things that I love. You should too. Fuck trying to impress people. Don't go out there and get in debt for a stupid car or a big fucking giant house to try to impress people. You know? If you've got money to go buy a big house and not be in debt and all that stuff, and you're not doing it to impress people, good for you, man. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, how many times we see people that do things just to impress other people because their lives are so miserable. You know, they're just, their lives are miserable. I don't want to be that person, you know. You know, there's times that I'm listening to my music, man, and it's just like, man, I ought to invite so and so over. I ought to invite so and so over. And then sometimes, then I'm like, oh fuck that, man. That just fuck that. I'm just gonna sit here and listen to my music by myself and my little beautiful dog Daisy. It's just gonna be me and her. We're gonna put on some Ali Fakta, Torre, some fucking Burning Spear, the Beatles, man, whatever, man. We're gonna put it on. Maybe some Nina Simone. My beautiful stereo. I love my stereo, man. I just this the more I listen to my stereo, man, it's crazy, man. It's like when you first get something, you love it, and then you kind of fall out of love with it. Stuff to me, the more I listen to my music, man, and my beautiful stereo, my beautiful records, the more I love it, man. Man, I was playing that George Jones album the other night, man, and it was about 9 o'clock. Man, I turned that son of a bitch up. And I was, you know, and the normal person to be like, it's kind of rude, man. You're disturbing your neighbors. But I was sitting there thinking, man, I'm thinking my neighbors need to hear this, man. They need to hear this record. They need to hear this wax spin on some old JBLs played through some tubes, man. They need to fucking hear this. I'm turning this shit up. So I had it up, man, and I left it up playing that old George Jones, man. There's a part of me that thinks that, you know, my neighbors are probably sitting there listening to it, go, man, that's too loud. And then they go, man, that's so good, though. That sounds so good. George Jones's voice. It's been so long since I've heard good George Jones singing, man. Think about it, you know. I sent a picture, or took a picture, sent it to my buddy. I said, have you ever heard this record? He said, I've heard that album before. I said, no, have you ever heard the actual record, man? He said, no. I said, man, you're going to have to come over one day and I'll play it for you. Beautiful, man. Enjoy your lives, man. Enjoy your life. It's going, man. It's going fast. We live in a crazy fucking world with crazy people. And I'm not dogging nobody, man. Love on them. Love on them. You know what I'm saying? Give them a smile. Talk to them about positive things. Put some positive energy in their lives, man. They need it. They need it more now than ever. And you are the people to do it. I am the people to do it. You know what I'm saying? Be positive and love them, man. Keep saying it, man. I know. So, hey, I love you guys, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time, your energy, man. I hope it's blessed your heart. I appreciate it, man. God bless y'all, man. Have a good week.